Hi, I'm Liam. You say hi, I'm Alesso, and I'll say, and you're watching Fabreen.
Perfect.
Hi guys, it's Liam here.
Hi guys, it's Alesso here.
And you are watching Fabreen. This was quite fun. I mean, it's been two different processes, really. One process of us working together and going down to the studio in Sweden, which we had a really fun day doing, meeting up with some old friends there as well, being Cal, who wrote the song. And then the second process of staying at home and working online like this, it's almost like we've become pen pals at this point, which is quite fun. And yeah, it's been difficult to, obviously in this process, but we've managed to make all these different cool visuals and videos and still managed to do live performances as well.
It was in the beginning a little tricky to figure out how we should do a music video when we're in isolation, because we had, this plan to do a big music video. But our team came up with this idea that we shoot Liam's part in his place and my part here in LA. And we loved the result because it turned out to be a music video that's, we wanted to be a mess about staying home during this quarantine times, and also showing like how really we work and how it's done. I make music in LA, Liam in London, and then we work online, and the music itself is in focus in the music video. There's not so much crazy stuff going on, and the response has been incredible. Actually, people think it's like a really, really professional music video, but it's just Liam, his camera guy, and me and my camera guy, and that was it.
Well, we've spoken about these things, and it's always difficult how to answer this question. The thing I always say more than ever really is that the reunion, will happen at some point, but just right now at this moment in time, we're all concentrating on our own project. Until everybody, has fulfilled what they wanted from their project, I can't see it happening until that moment, because One Direction's not really a job you can have as a hobby. It's not really a sideline job. We at one point were pretty much the biggest boy band in the world, which is quite crazy to think about. So, it's not something you can just half-heartedly go at. We'd have to fully be invested in that moment and just working on that project, not anything else. Did I perform in a country music festival? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot of fun, the Villa Mix. I think, if I remember rightly, was Louis there at the same time I was as well? I don't remember either. I might be mixing days up here. I mean, we do so many of these different performances, it's hard to total. But, I've got such fond memories of being in Brazil, and, especially when I was with the boys as well, hanging out and going to, statue that's there, being in Rio de Janeiro. I think at one point we partied on a rooftop somewhere with Eddie Earl Jam. So, I've got so many different fond memories, and I always love going back to Brazil. It's such a party place. And, for me and Alesso as well, we're both quite party people. So we're hoping, we can come down at some point when this quarantine ends and maybe do a show for you guys.
One of my absolute favorite countries to come visit and play. And just being there is, so much culture, the food, people, the, funk music, everything is so like inspirational too. So I try to go every year. Last time I was there was last year for Carnival, which was, I think, the third time I've been there. And it's always like everything you expect it to be. It's just so much happiness and joy. When you play this kind of different other places where it's not just my kind of music in focus, it didn't really feel like weird, and it felt great, because people just appreciate music and wants to party and have fun during Carnival. So
I think it's really interesting the way, the internet is moving music these days, seeing so many old songs. I know Jason Derulo has had quite a lot of success on TikTok at the moment with songs that he put out years and years ago that are recharting because of how people are using them. I'm used to receiving content in different ways these days. We're used to looking at these different platforms and everybody wants this short and sharp video content. It seems to be the flavor of the moment. So, it's just, for us, it's learning how to use all these things that gets difficult, because you get given this thing and they're like, trying to learn how to use it properly so that you can be part of, what is going on and enjoy it with everybody else. And I always find that bit quite hard.
Yeah, it's same for me. I think the world is changing every year. I felt like there's, when it comes to like TikTok, I think in the beginning I didn't quite understand it, like everyone else, but it's, you can't like not see it or you can't deny it. It's like here, and it's one of the biggest social media apps in the world right now.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm still trying to figure out as well. I do a little funny. My dog Turbo is a lot in focus on there because I find him quite entertaining. I like to dress him up and put like sunglasses on and stuff like that. And I think it's working. You know, I think TikTok is like that kind of app that you can post anything really, that you don't have to overthink it, you know. And it's a lot about entertainment. It's entertainment. It's not so much like super serious news in there. It's more about
personality more than anything.
Yeah, personality and that kind of stuff. And you do these dances and stuff that I haven't done yet because I think people would be terrified if they would see that. I can't dance at all. So after a few tequila shots, then I think
I mean, having a baby born is one of the most beautiful moments in time for you. Obviously, you know, it's something we all you know, look forward to at some point. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I think advice-wise, just not to put too much pressure on yourself at the start, really, because you know you got to remember you deserve the time to learn to be a dad as well. You know, I think it's more about being a support unit and being able to be in that moment. For a mother goes through so many different transitions. You know, after they give birth, I think, you know, it's really important that you're supported, you know, depending on which way it goes with them, and just making sure that you're there and functioning. One of the first things for me that I found made me feel more comfortable, because, you know, I noticed Cheryl and Bear were together, you know, quite a lot, and whatever else, and she was taking care of him quite a lot. So that's, for me, it was always cooking. I like the idea of cooking and doing things, and, you know, trying to look after the whole family unit and making sure that she was okay, as her focus is so very heavily on the baby at that point in time. But it's, you know, it's a difficult moment, and a lot of dads do struggle, and unfortunately, you know, a lot of dads don't really talk about it. And I think it's important, because you suddenly find that you're all going through the same thing anyway. You know, it's very much like this COVID disease at the moment. You know, it's taken a disease for us to all realize we're not really that different. You know, it took one thing for us to all be in the same position, which is stuck in our houses. So yeah. We don't have anything recorded right now. We've been talking about a number of different ideas, and I've been getting into doing production a lot more. So I definitely think there's a space for us to do something in the future, depending on whether it's, you know, something for my project, something for Alesso's, something for my Deep House project that's coming very soon. Who knows?